Yo guys, so I left the last video on a cliffhanger, so I kind of just wanted to talk about, a little bit of that. Pretty much, to sum things up, I am not natural. Disclaimer, actually, maybe I should do a disclaimer real quick. Just disclaimer real quick, this is all for entertainment and informative purposes. I do not encourage the use of PEDs or any drugs or any performance enhancing anything. It's totally your choice, and you need to, know the risks and like what comes along with that. But yeah, this is just sharing my experience with it. So I've been on 200 milligrams of Test C for about since July 16th, I believe it was. That was the day I decided. So pretty much, I made a promise to myself that by the time I turn 25. If I still want to go on, gear, I would make that decision then. And, well, I turned 25 on July 14th. 2 days later, I knew what I wanted to do. And, yeah, I started. So it's been, 5 months now? Actually, today's November 19th. So, about 5 months. All of August, September, October, November. Oh, so 4 months. I've been on Test C for four months. 200. What is it? Oh my God, 200 milligrams. Fairly low dose. Honestly, a lot of people would consider that to be TRT dose. So, but I see a pretty good response from it, and I feel pretty good. Still working out like all the little things about it and figuring stuff out. I still have to get bloods done and stuff, but yeah, man, not natty. I also, talking a little bit about this now, a lot of people also asked like what was my natural status, or like what was going on with that like in the past. So I kind of just want to go over that a little bit as well. I'm going to pull up some pictures to kind of give you guys like a better reference on like pretty much, where I've been. So let's start with this. So if I could, this picture, whenever I can pull it up, maybe I can make it smaller. Oh, there we go. I have Apex in the background right now. I should probably close out of this. I don't know how to. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Alright, you guys want to watch me play Apex? Like, exit the desktop. So, fuck off. There we go. I just love this. So, this is going into freshman year. So you can see, muscle mass, just not much there. Fairly small for the most part. I thought I was pretty jacked during this time period. Also, I'm very impressed with how tan I was, and look at the lack of arm hair. Now that I'm like noticing that now, like I did not have much arm hair at all. Now that I'm looking at this picture, I think that's like Kenny. I think that's Abdel. No, is that Zach Del? I don't know. I'm reminiscing a little bit, but yeah. So pretty much this was like going into freshman year, and then there we go. This was 6 months into training, so you could see, somewhat of a difference. Like, just some muscle. Shoulders definitely exploded, for the most part. Arms grew a little bigger, I think. I didn't have a pump in this picture. I don't even know what a pump was at this time period. But yeah. And then, let me see. Oh wait, so here's a better picture. This is a little different. This was me going into my senior year. So this was like, 3 years later into training. At this point in time, I was technically not natty. I did run some pro hormones at that time. But, pretty good muscle development. So here, this is my first ever cycle going into junior year. So this was the first summer I ever started taking something. So like immediately, like I mean, like I wouldn't even, I don't. I'm pretty sure it was Halodrol or Holodrol. Look, I have like this kid face. Like holy shit, I was so young. But look at my fucking body, man. I'm just like jacked as fuck, looking like a 12-year-old. But yeah, a couple of my friends wanted to go to the beach. That is 100% orange juice. There's nothing else in that but orange juice, 100%. But yeah, this was my physique from my first cycle when I made my big transformation, which I will show this. So this was like, you know, I went from this to this. This was January 4th, 2013. And so this was the same year, 2013, but like the summer, or sorry, yeah, same year, but the summer of 2013, going into my junior year, I think it was. Yeah, going into junior year. So I was a sophomore at the time. I was probably 16 years old here. Yeah. And then from there, we're still in 2013, okay? So I'm going to try to find some pictures that are around 2013. Oh, to give you a little better example, like, you know, these are 2011, you know, you could... Oh, wait, this is right before senior year. All right, excuse that. You know, 2011, looking fucking little emo boy, wearing my brother's jersey, really small arms, 2011. That was freshman year. This was, you know, working out for like 6 months, something like that. So there was definitely like a difference in size. Like, I don't know, also I was really flat here. That was post-football season and shit. Holy crap, I was so small. It's like crazy. I haven't looked at these pictures in so long, so it's crazy to see. You know, look, emo boy Qwin. Fucking thought it was cool to straighten my hair. So yeah. So this, what year was this? I think this was actually one of the last pictures before I went unnatural. This was, yeah. This was 20, or maybe this was the same time period. This is when we met Jess and Mackenzie. No, I definitely wasn't natty at this point in time. I definitely ran like some kind of pro hormone or something at this point in time. But still, like you could see like these are the guys that are around my age at the time, and it's just like you know, like no one really cares about physiques and stuff like that, but like clearly something some fucking shit was going on with me because I was like very muscularly developed at this time period. And let's see, so that was like 2013, the summer of 2013, going into my junior year. And this is post-football season, junior year. So, you know, lost some size, wasn't training a lot, was doing a ton of cardio because of football and shit. So this was right before the end of senior year, you know. The thing is, I don't know exactly when. I mean, I could show you a bunch of like different pictures, like fucking June 2nd, 2016, 177 pounds. Freshman year, no gear. Technically, I didn't like run. Here, let me open this up. Technically, like I didn't run like anything. Like I didn't run like any. Like people were assuming I was like pinning myself. Like they would see like I would get like acne on my back and shoulders and shit, and like maybe a little bit on my chest when I was going into high school, but people would like see like an acne scar or something. Like, oh, like that's where he's pinning, and I'm like, now I understand because like I was pinning my delts for a little while, and like you do get like a little lump swelling kind of thing, and so now it makes sense. But back then I'm like, why are these guys assume like what? Why would you stick a needle in your delt? Now I understand because, you know, it makes sense now. But back then I never fucking understood that. Like literally I would randomly run a pro hormone cycle, like post football season, like in the off season, to get bigger, because my goals were, and what I was being told to do is, you got to come in bigger for the next year. So pretty much all of this shit was like athletic, performance based training. I would train my biceps and triceps and do some bodybuilder stuff like that. But like primarily, my coach told me I needed to gain 10 pounds for the next year, for senior year. And that's what I fucking did, man. Like, I would just gain weight, get stronger, get bigger, like, grow. So, yeah, I just kept growing and growing. So this was my first year out of high school. Fucking massive, dude. Like, what the... Like, looking at this now, I don't know what's going on with the face, but looking at this now, just, like, the fucking physique, like, I understand why people are freaking out, man. Like... It didn't make sense. 2016, 2 years out of high school. Fucking lean as fuck. But, like, you could see, like, acne and shit like that. I don't think it was, like, pro hormones or anything that was causing that. I'm pretty sure it was just, like, just me for a while. Because I was having a very hard time, like, not having acne. I've had acne my whole life. It wasn't until I started implementing, like, like the acne body wash with I can't remember what the acid's called right now. It's like crap, I don't remember. But like incorporating like body wash routines, making sure I'm showering immediately after the gym, like scrubbing, like actually exfoliating the skin. Honestly, eating cleaner. I've noticed like eating less of a fatty diet and more like well-rounded, nutritious. I do find I don't break out as much, whether that has to do with like stress hormones or whatever. I'm not like too well versed in that, but I just want to show you. I'm just going to show you a couple of pics. This was 2015. This was 1 year out of high school. Like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, it's some good angles and good lighting, but like, that's big for like an 18-year-old. Like, I was 18 right there. I don't know. Like, looking at it now, I'm like, holy fuck, I understand why people are freaking out about shit. At the time, I didn't understand, But yeah, so this was September 2014. This was like my senior year. I was graduating this year. A little Dill, a little Qwin. Fucking just massive delts. Just astronomically huge delts. I have no idea, man. People would assume I'm like pinning my delts because of how big they were, and they would say it's site hypertrophy or some shit like that. It's just like, I don't know, man. The fucking delts are huge. Yeah, so pretty much running it, I know I kind of like grazed over the fact that like I was casually running PEDs and shit, but like honestly, man, like I can't tell you exactly what I was taking because like I don't know necessarily. My first ever PED cycle I took, it was Halodrol or Halodrol, whatever it was. My dad brought me into a supplement shop and bought it for me. That was going into my junior year. So that picture was, yeah, that picture was this, the one I showed you earlier. This one, Halodrol. But like I made pretty good, and this was the transformation from that. Why is that picture so much smaller this time? Oh, you get the point. Oh, there we go. So that's like really blurry and shit, but you can kind of like see, what's going on there. That was going into my junior year. So that was like the first cycle. And then from there, whenever I wanted to get bigger and stronger, I developed a habit because I'm just, I pop a pill, and I get bigger and stronger. Fuck it. I didn't know it would have like long-term effects and it would like fuck with my endocrine system. And I didn't know I was messing with my hormones. And I didn't know all of these side effects. I was just told by my dad, someone, you trust your dad, just to take this. Later on, I started figuring out what I was taking. I knew when I was taking it, was like, like some kind of like steroid, this and this, but it like didn't like, I didn't know the actual repercussion. It's kind of like similar to today's, like these teens today's with SARMs. Like they just take SARMs and they don't really know what they're taking. They just know it gets them bigger. It's the same naive thought process that occurred to me at that time period. And it wasn't until, you know, I met some friends and, you know, everyone was talking about like PEDs and shit. That was recently. Fuck, like that's so much growth, man. Like I am proud of myself no matter what. Like that's growth. But yeah, like you know, I started talking to people, figuring out, okay, this is what's wrong. Like I got to stop this. So pretty much around 20, I think it was 2018 or 2017, 2018, I completely stopped. Yeah. So this is November 18, 2017. This is like me about like a year just not touching anything. So clearly, like, you know, there's still muscle mass and shape, but it's not the same fullness, tightness, like fucking crazy jacked. Like, I mean, that's not even that good of a picture, but like this is, people are freaking out about this picture too. Shout out to the original OG Gymshark stringers, man. Fucking, I don't even know where that stringer is, but I miss these. But it's not like this, but I was also tan there. But, you know, it's still like retaining a good amount of muscle mass. I'm pretty big here. You know, grew a lot. But yeah, I continued to stay natty from 2017 on, up until I ran my first cycle, my first actual gear cycle, 2021 of July 16th, and it's been 4 months since then. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to be transparent with all that. The reason I stopped is because I found out like there was something wrong with my hormones. I wasn't like PCTing properly. I was just taking like fucking milk thistle for like liver support. I wasn't actually taking anything to like balance out, like make sure my hormones are in check and I'm all okay in that sense. So, yeah. It's like even you can see like in this picture, you know, still natty, baby Coda, fucking. Now she's all fucking massive dog, but baby Coco, natty Qwin, 2017, 2018, 2019. When COVID hit and everything like that, you know, I kind of just stopped training entirely, so I did lose a lot of like size. But yeah, now I decided, you know, I turned 25 and this is what I do. You know, I fucking lift weights, I get people jacked, I fucking record YouTube videos. Like I was so naive back in the day because I always thought I never needed to take gear or anything. And I always believed that, trust me, a lot of people in the industry, if your primary source of income is how your physique looks, you're going to be on gear. Me back in the day, I was very naive and didn't believe, you know, that a lot of these people were on gear. You know, I just believed, oh, they just fucking, they're natty, they look like this, they get this shredded, they look like this, they're this full all the time because, you know, they're just natty. There's no way. Like, now that I'm on gear and I understand, you know, the feelings and the looks, like, and also just looking back at, like, you know, the things I experienced then, using the information I know now, I totally understand, like, you know, everyone that's in this, like, for the most part, not everyone, but most people are on some sort of PED at some point, unless they really, really, you know, claim hard natty. And I know there are a lot of people that are in this industry that are hard natties, like that I believe are natties as well. But that's also with the knowledge I accumulated of being on, you know, test for a few months. I know it's like not much of a basis, but I totally understand more than what I did before just from this. But yeah, man, not natty anymore. But you know, I don't know. I just don't want to fucking. I just felt more so the reason why I started running, you know, test. Was more so like I found a clip from 2019 of me talking about like an Alphalete package, and my voice was like so fucking like high. Like it was like I can't even replicate it now because my voice is just deeper. It was like more so up here, something like, it was something like that. Like I would have, like, I actually have to like try to like bring my voice up, where before it was just like that naturally. So, you know, I'm pretty sure like that's not like a good like example of like, you know, oh fucking low test or whatever, maybe you should get checked. But just looking at some pictures. But I did notice that, you know, I was having like very irrational mood swings. I was depressed all the time, like literally fucking depressed all the time. Like I was miserable. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to like clean. I didn't want to do my laundry. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to move. Like I just wanted to shrivel up and just disappear. And like, it was when you're in that state, it's like so hard to see it. But like looking back on it, like I was fucking severely depressed and I needed help. And like, no, like I'm not gonna say no one helped me, but like no one helped me. Like genuinely no one helped me. Like, or at least no one acknowledged that, like, you know, I kind of just needed a friend at that time period, you know, someone to like talk some sense into me. And you know, I went through that for an entire year of like solitary confinement. I didn't fucking speak to any other humans. I was just running myself into the dirt, just trying to disappear, you know. I felt like I was better off dead kind of thing. So, you know, I experienced all these like just bad symptoms and like mood just always wasn't great. And, you know, it got to the point where I was starting to think like, maybe my test is low. Maybe like my shit's fucked up. And like my diet at the time was terrible, so that probably didn't contribute to it. And I wasn't training, so I guarantee you during that time period, my testosterone was at an all-time low. I never got blood works because I hate needles. Part of the reason why I didn't want to go on gear is because I couldn't get over the fact that you would have to actually like pierce your skin, you know? Like that shit terrifies me. Like I don't like that. I've never liked like getting my blood taken and shit like that. But when you're on gear, you have to like monitor your health. So it's like needles are like a common day thing at that point. So it's like getting over my fear of needles was, I'm still not over it, but I just value my goals more than anything. So, and my health, honestly, from my standpoint, like, yeah, going on gear, the effects of muscle building is great, but more so, I feel like it was a necessary for me as, you know, I felt it is necessary for me from a health standpoint, just for the fact that I think from the PED usage, like the pro-hormone usage as like a younger teen, kind of affected my natural testosterone production, like, you know, going into adulthood. I may be wrong, like, you know, there's probably a bunch of other things I could do to naturally increase it, but I don't think it's like, I know how I felt when I was natty, and maybe it was just because I was young, I was a teen, I had more energy or something, but I know how I felt then. And then years later, like this accumulative, like just depression and just shitty feeling just existed from then on. You know, I probably should have gotten blood work and I would know for sure, but I guarantee you, I just know how I feel now. I know how I feel before, and I know how I feel then. You know, something was wrong with my hormones. So I took it into my own hands to, you know, try to fix that. And muscle building's nice. I mean, fucking the ability to grow muscle on test is cool, and I respond pretty well to it, so I'm happy about that. And I feel good, and I feel happy, so that's more important than anything. I didn't want to make this super, super long, but, you know, sometimes I tend to ramble. But I kind of wanted to show, like, just some pictures and just kind of give you guys a better idea of, you know, my history and stuff like that. I probably, all in all, ran like 7 pro hormones, like 2-month cycles, leading up to 2017, where I completely stopped for like 3 years, 4 years, because I just felt like my hormones were fucked up. And then that didn't help because I feel like 2017 on, I was the most miserable, unhappy, just sorry motherfucker you would ever meet. No motivation to do anything, extremely unhappy. I should have really taken my health into consideration, and, you know, maybe if I was just more aware of things, and, you know, I was getting blood work done. I'd done things a lot better back then, you know. I wouldn't have led up to this point where I would be taking gear. But, you know, I'm here now. And as long as I do this correctly from here on, I should be okay. The health risks to me are worth it. I mean, I'm not blasting anything. Like I said, I'm running 200 milligrams a test a week. So it's really not much. That's TRT dosage. Actually is test C. But I do want to run like an actual blast cycle at some point. You know, it's see what happens. See if how big I can get, how strong I can get. But I don't know. I still don't know the proper protocol on how to do that, how to do it safely, and I still have to get over the fact that I have to, like, you know, get blood work done routinely and shit. So I still have to get over the whole needle thing. But yeah, not natty. I guess, like, I stopped being natty my junior year, so pretty much, yeah. Yeah. You know, part of me thinks, like, I wish I didn't start so young. Well, I know I wish I didn't start so young. It wasn't necessarily my choice. I was trusting another, but, you know, I kind of wanted to see how far I could get, like, naturally, how much I would like it, and, like, you know, I don't know, maybe I would have never started anything in the first place. Maybe I wouldn't have fucked up my hormones. I don't know. I'm not going to, I mean, that's kind of a bad outlook. I'm not going to look on the past as, like, you know, I wish. All I know is I'm here now. I'm happier now. I feel better. This was definitely the right choice. You know, everyone has their reasons. You know, some people come off gear for their reasons. Some people go on gear for their reasons. I truly believe it benefits me and improve my overall well-being and health and my lifestyle. So, yeah, I'm on gear.